When I put my uniform on, I'm ready to help someone on the worst day of their life.
Oh. It's the ambulance here, mate.
As soon as we arrive, they just know they're in safe hands and that we're going to do everything we can to help them.
Does that feel better? Yeah?
I wouldn't have guessed you were 104.
I genuinely think laughter is the best medicine.
Let's go. Teddy wants to go. You're very brave.
To know that you bring someone that's very unwell to hospital and they get better. It's one of the best feelings in the world.
I promise I'll look after you.
Second to God, these people.
Let's get you in the ambulance, eh?
I feel really proud to wear this uniform and I feel really proud to be a paramedic.
On this episode of Paramedics, a dodgy takeaway triggers a life-threatening allergic reaction.
Okay. That sensation of suffocating, it must feel like death is around the corner.
This party girl's dance floor antics bring her night on the town to a bone-breaking halt.
Everyone follow me on Instagram.
And a young pregnant woman suddenly collapses.
I've got twins. I just started bleeding today.
Emily's trying to put on a brave face. She would be really concerned about the welfare of her babies.
Tell me exactly what's happened.
We ordered pie and my girlfriend told them no prawn. We've had an allergic reaction to shellfish.
Inside the State Emergency Operations Centre, a distressed call comes in after a takeaway order goes drastically wrong.
And when did it start?
About 5 minutes ago. Dad? Dad?
What's going on?
She's gasping for air.
We're coming out lights and sirens for her, OK? We're coming as quickly as we can.
Dad?
So it appears we've got a shellfish victim here.
Intensive care paramedic Dan is rushing to provide specialist backup for the potentially lethal reaction.
It's late in the shift and suddenly my mind has turned into game mode. It's an anaphylactic reaction. These can happen extremely quickly. 1 minute, there's just a tingling in the throat, just feeling a bit off colour, maybe slightly nauseous. It could be a matter of minutes later that your throat's closing over. We could be dealing with a cardiac arrest in somebody with a throat that's so tight that we can't even get our breathing tubes down, and we would need to be cutting holes in throats. That's how serious it is. This is truly a life-threatening emergency. It does come down to minutes and seconds.
Dad? Get with me. Dad? Dad? Dad?
OK, she's still awake.
I'm trying to keep her awake.
Let me know if she goes unconscious, OK?
Yeah.
Do you know what I think sucks sometimes? When we go to the jobs at the pub, when people are having a night out and having a good time, I think, oh man, I wish that was me sometimes. Yeah. Get a bit of FOMO? Yeah.
It's Friday night, and flatmates Sam and Chris are settling into the late shift.
Whose jocks are you wearing today? Mine or yours? No, definitely wearing my jocks today. Yeah, me too. As in mine or yours? Yours. Oh, they're really, really tight today. Oh, OK. Have you gone down in size?
These two mates have been making each other laugh for years, through good times and bad.
Can you wrap the potato in alfoil? The divorced men's shelter. I'm trying to think who actually came up with that name. All right, ready? Yeah. I think it was just coined because we're two divorced blokes living in the same house. Oh, there we go. And it's become a bit of a refuge for our other mates who have gone through some hard times.
10 years ago, Chris and Sam supported each other when they both decided to become paramedics.
Doing the paramedic degree had always sort of been on my radar, and I was sort of putting it off, and then got talking to Chris, who realised that it had been floating around for him as well, and we just sort of said to each other, why don't we do this? How good is this? It was a really uncertain time, but when I look back, I think that's almost where my life started again. I can't imagine doing anything else. And I enjoy going to work every day, especially when you get to work with a bloke like Sam as well. I've been so lucky to have him by my side.
Suddenly, the first job of the night comes through.
So we are going to a, 18-year-old female. She slipped on the dance floor with a query fractured arm. Initially, security was saying that she's unconscious, but now she's come to and she's hysterical. Probably a little bit of alcohol involved in this one. Yeah.
The SOS has come from Hindley Street in Adelaide's clubbing district.
I've had a few big nights there myself when I was a younger boy, but there's going to be a lot going on. Not only do we have a sick patient, but we've got thousands of pretty drunk people that are going to be hanging around and sometimes getting in the way.
G'day, guys. What's happened tonight, mate?
I just fell on my wrist.
Okay.
She's moaning in pain, holding her wrist, lying on the ground, and there's a sea of people walking past. I can't help but feel bad for Olivia. She's gone out for a big night with her friends, and now she's writhing on the ground in pain. The night really hasn't turned out how she planned.
Please, I need something.
Okay,
My wrist is in
Olivia.
Hey, bud. How are you?
Hey, mate.
G'day.
Hi. Daniel, this is Jess. She's 43. She's had shellfish in her dinner tonight 15 minutes ago.
Intensive care paramedic Dan has arrived at the 43-year-old artist's home after a takeaway order has left her fighting for life.
We're going for our third IM adrenaline at the moment. And just trying to gain some IV access.
No worries.
The first response team has already given her 2 shots of adrenaline to stop her throat from closing over. It's now up to Dan as the intensive care paramedic to take over from here.
If you don't get anything there, I'll have another go up here. I walk into the scene. Not only do I see Jess struggling to breathe, but I also see how busy the paramedics are.
Do you just have an episode of some decreased conscious state?
We get access with that blood pressure. We can look at some fluid as well.
Yeah.
Anaphylaxis is an over-the-top immune response of the body. This can create really dangerous symptoms. Your throat can swell to the point that you cannot get air through. Your lower airways in your lungs can tighten and close over to the point that air cannot go in and out. If we cannot get air through her mouth, down into her lungs, I'll have to find another avenue. I know this is very difficult. Try as best you can to take a deeper breath because I know it's hard. Yeah, I know it's tight. I know. While Jess can't speak, you can see in her face and in her eyes when she catches a glimpse of what we're doing that she is extremely stressed. Can I just twist it a bit? Thank you. That sensation of pretty much suffocating, it must feel like death is around the corner. What we're gonna do, you got me? We've got the drip in, give you some fluid as well because your blood pressure's pretty low, okay?
One of the most dangerous stages of anaphylaxis is a sudden loss of blood pressure.
So we see what BP we're playing with right now.
Jess's blood pressure has now dropped to a critical level.
If blood pressure drops too low, your heart and your brain can't function. And at worst, you can have a cardiac arrest. Jess's life is absolutely in danger.
I want to know, how have you wound up becoming a paramedic?
There's a bit of a story behind that.
Is there?
It's a rare quiet moment on the night shift for new partners Georgia and Ben.
My first career was as an athlete.
An athlete?
Yeah. I spent my life in budgie smugglers.
No, hold on. Go back. I want to know more.
I was a springboard diver.
Wow.
So I went to the Commonwealth Games in 2006.
Really?
Which was Melbourne, yeah. World Championships, also in Melbourne in 2007.
Right.
And and then Beijing Olympics, 2008. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm working with an Olympian.
A former Olympian.
Oh, I don't know. Still milk it.
I'm in the presence of greatness. I can't even touch my toes. I'm the least flexible person ever. I'm just a fumbling mess when it comes to anything coordinated.
After Beijing Olympics in 2008, me and my synchro partner were World Series champions.
Were you?
Yeah, and then in a training accident a few months later, I snapped my anterior cruciate ligament.
Oh, far out.
And that was kind of the beginning of the end of my career, really.
Yeah.
It was pretty devastating, but in a way it was a relief knowing that I'd actually given my all. I put everything that I could have into it. So then my absolutely amazing wife suggested, why don't you become a paramedic? Got into it and never looked back since. It just gave me purpose to get up in the morning, and I knew that I was doing something useful. It was perfect.
You wouldn't catch me dead on a diving board now.
But what about the budgie smugglers?
100% I still wear my budgie. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they don't fit like they used to.
Okay.
Tell me exactly what happened.
My wife's family just collapsed in the bathroom. She's still breathing. She's conscious. She's awake. We think she banged herself on the wall, I think, when she fell. She blacked out briefly.
She did black out?
Yep. She's 11 weeks pregnant.
Georgia, we've got a 34-year-old female who has had a collapse, has had a period of unconsciousness, and the information is that they are 11 weeks pregnant, and that's
shit.
all we've got so far.
Right, okay. That's a worry.
Clearly.
My mind instantly jumps to, like, potential for a miscarriage, but I really hope that that's not the case.
Yeah.
11 weeks is still pretty early pregnancy-wise. Nothing would be able to be done to save Bubs.
Ben is in the final weeks of training with the ambulance service. This case will test the rookie paramedic.
To go to anyone that's potentially having a miscarriage is one of the worst things. So stressful, and the emotions will be high, and just knowing how devastated this person will be if that is the case.
My wrist.
Okay, did you feel it crack at all? You did, okay.
In the city, Chris and Sam have come to 18-year-old Olivia's rescue. A serious fall has ruined her plan for a big night out with best mate Jazzy.
We'll get you something to help with the pain. Can you just grab me a pen train and then we'll just get the stretcher in here?
Initially, my plan for Olivia is to address her pain. So I'm going to give her some methoxyfluorine, which is the green whistle, to try and get on top of that pain immediately.
Suck that in through your mouth, out through your nose, okay?
I am concerned that she has fractured her wrist. However, I am hoping she's only sprained or strained something.
I want you to take big breaths on this one, okay? Okay, good work.
With the pen train kicking in, the boys can now move the emotional Olivia into the ambulance.
Keep holding. Keep holding on to it, okay?
Liv, you're okay, baby. You have my bag? Yes, I have your bag, your sunglasses, your phone.
Olivia, me and Sam are going to help you up. 1, 2, 3. Big push. That's the way. Let's get you out. Nice and relaxed, okay?
Hey, Timmy. Everyone follow me on Instagram.
Olivia, let's just get you out of the street.
But it's really painful.
I know. Every time it gets a bit sore, take a few breaths, okay?
Is it?
Yeah, it'll do that.
I'm coming with you. I just got to get in. Jazzy, my wrist is definitely broken. I'm here, babe. You're okay. Jazzy, just like...
Everyone needs a friend like Jazzy who's going to hold your hair back, pat your shoulder and tell you it's going to be all right. I know I certainly would have appreciated that from Sam back in the day, but he would have made sure I was in the ambulance and then just gone straight back in for another drink.
It's just the pain.
Okay.
I can't
So
deal with
look at me, Olivia. Look at me. You've got this one here, okay?
It's a pain relief
No,
bag.
no, other way around. No. Take little breaths on it, okay? Just little breaths.
Are you sure it works?
Yeah, just doing
Does it work
its thing.
with alcohol?
It works very well with alcohol. I'm just gonna get your belt sorted, because you've...
This is just really painful.
You know, on that
My
one...
wrist is still really painful.
So, Olivia, look at me. Hang on. No.
Please.
Don't...
Please just make my whistle work. I think you didn't put the drug in
Olivia,
there.
listen to me.
This is becoming a really tricky trip to hospital. Our patient's intoxication is making it almost impossible to get a splint on her arm. And she's got the green whistle in the wrong way, so she's not getting the pain relief that she keeps on asking for.
Leave it down.
Help me.
I need you to take some deep breaths on that. You just relax it. Whoa.
Wait, can I just see
No.
Her night might have not gone to plan, but my trip to hospital certainly isn't going to plan either.
It's all right.
We're back up.
We're back?
Yeah.
43-year-old Jess is fighting for her life after a severe allergic reaction to shellfish in a takeaway.
So we're going to balancing act now between the adrenaline and the blood pressure.
Intensive care paramedic Dan has just stabilised her dangerously low blood pressure with a large dose of adrenaline.
Any improvements?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Right now, I'm at a dangerous point in a way because I feel like for the first time with Jess, I'm winning the war.
We've got the drip in.
I'm ahead on the scoreboard. I think we've got this under control, but I'm aware that with anaphylaxis, the medication that we give can wear off really quickly.
Is somebody able to... Is someone going to hold this? Are you free, mate?
Yeah.
Jess's partner, Gary, steps in to help at this critical point.
Just hold that there. Make sure there's a lot of slack in the line.
Yeah.
Good job.
Now I can actually speak to Jess and take the opportunity to ask about her broader medical history.
So you don't normally have heart troubles?
She's had a loop recorder inserted because of some syncopal episodes. I just heard that then.
Oh, great. That's what we needed.
She suffers from syncope or fainting spells with no real warning and no real reason why.
Well done.
I'm thinking, wow, that would just take the cake if she happens to faint right now.
If Jess falls unconscious while having an allergic reaction, she won't be able to force her lungs to breathe.
Yeah. What's wrong?
Wrong.
Oh.
Hot?
Yeah, I think...
Or you want to lay down?
Yeah, we'll go a little bit. Yeah, sure, gotcha. No, that's cool.
Better?
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus, we'll get you out in the fresh air and you'll feel even better, I reckon.
Take me to the hospital, okay?
Jess is finally stable enough to be transferred to hospital. Her worried partner, Gary, will follow closely behind.
It's very scary. You just see someone trying to breathe and nothing's coming out and they start, gasping and, they're just looking into your eyes and you can just see the fear and the terror that they're having with what's happening.
You're doing great, all right?
And you wonder if that's going to be the last time you're going to see them.
So you reckon it was shellfish? Yeah? Is that known that you're allergic to shellfish? How'd you manage to get hold of it tonight? Not sure? Yo, eye roll there. Okay.
Now that Jess can talk more, I can find out what happened tonight, and I can hear from the sound of her voice and how she can cope with speaking, how well her airways are doing.
Good that you're speaking there and your voice doesn't sound too hoarse. I'm really happy with that.
Fingers are crossed that we can have a nice, smooth ride, the blood pressure holds, the airways remain open, Jess can keep talking to me, and we can hand over at the hospital.
You start, what's that?
124, man.
Tight again.
Suddenly, Jess's condition takes a dramatic turn.
Once you've done that, mate, we'll get moving. Pain? Is it like a tightness pain or a heavy pain? Like a tight? Yeah, okay. Neb? Yep. So if you want to draw me up those 5, so we could pop it either through the... You all right?
Adrenaline 1 milligram.
I look at Jess and see she might be having one of her fainting spells. Now I'm worried.
Hello?
We may have to pull over to assist her breathing if she doesn't bounce back.
You right? Hello.
I reckon dinner at
bread.
your house would be amazing.
Oh, Mum's cooking is just next level. It's just, nothing tastes better. You got to try it.
Oh, mate, if you invite me over, I will.
Good mates Nee and Carlos are enjoying some downtime between jobs. The pair first met 8 years ago at university.
You know what tortilla is? Yeah, you know what tortilla is.
Oh, what inspired me to be a paramedic was essentially just giving back to like the community, because we moved here from El Salvador, so it was like a war-torn country. From what my parents told me, I was only 2 years old. They said it was quite a scary place to live in at the time. There was a curfew set, you couldn't go out at night at certain times. People would just go missing and kidnapped. There was no end in sight, essentially, for the war. We ended up going to Australia because the line was the shortest.
Oh.
So they actually had no idea what they were lining up for. But my dad's like, we're not going to wait. We're going on this one. My parents gave up so much just to move here. We didn't have any friends, any family. I don't think they even spoke any English at all. So I wanted to be a paramedic just to kind of give back to this beautiful country that has just provided so much opportunities to not just myself, but my parents as well. Now they're homeowners and both still currently working. So yeah, when they say like they're super proud of how much I've accomplished, like I'm speechless of how much they've actually accomplished.
Oh, Carlos. Oh, that's awesome, man.
The pressure is suddenly back on when they receive an urgent call to help a child in grave danger.
So we are going to an 8-year-old male, so a little kid. History of Down syndrome, choking, only allowed soft foods.
Worst case scenario with choking, it can block the airway, so essentially you just stop breathing. It just takes a matter of seconds to cause brain injury from not having any oxygen. We don't want that for anyone, especially a young child.
A child with Down syndrome, the anatomy of the airway is quite different. It does pose quite a big risk of choking and aspiration, and it does make my heart race a lot quicker going to this job.
2 minutes away.
You right?
Adrenaline 1 milligram.
Hello.
Intensive care paramedic Dan is desperately trying to wake up 43-year-old patient Jess after she passed out during a severe allergic reaction.
You right?
If she can't be roused, she could stop breathing.
Now I'm worried. It looks to me like she might be having one of her fainting spells.
You right? You with us? Yeah?
Jess regains consciousness and is able to control her breathing once more.
You stay awake for me? Yep. Your job's to keep breathing. I can't do that bit for you.
Jess is woken up, thankfully, and this roller coaster of a job finally appears like we're on the up again.
Jess, stay awake for me. All right? We're going to let the hospital know. Fulham 4-1, how do you receive? Thank you. IC crew coming to you with a 43-year-old female, known history of anaphylaxis and ICU admissions. Tonight, we believe she might have had some shellfish. You all right there, Jess? Yep.
I'm aware that with anaphylaxis, the medication that we give can wear off really quickly, and we can be right back where we started from, or even worse.
More of that adrenaline to help with your breathing, okay, Jess?
ETA is about 2.
We're going to be there in a few minutes. There's going to be a few doctors and nurses fussing over you. They're going to be very safe, okay?
Jess, you're doing a great job. We're almost there at the hospital.
I need to keep a calm exterior so that I appear to be in control, even though at times I am stressing just a teeny bit.
Jess will be taken straight to emergency, where she'll be closely watched for further dangerous reactions.
So Jess is obviously in quite a serious condition. Hopefully she'll be stabilised in the emergency department and she'll survive this.
You all right, Jess?
Rookie paramedic Ben and his partner Georgia have just arrived at the home of a young pregnant woman.
Hiya, how are you doing? You all right?
Who suddenly collapsed.
My name's Ben. I've got George with me.
Put this light on if you don't mind. Emily.
Emily. Hi, Emily. What's happened?
I just felt a bit dizzy in the shower when I got out.
Yeah.
I just told my husband that I wasn't feeling well and then I was on the floor. I'm 11 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And I just started bleeding today.
Have you just started bleeding today? Okay.
So I don't know.
Bleeding rings alarm bells, especially that Emily's had an unconscious episode. Is this your first pregnancy or just relax your arm down?
The worry is that a miscarriage could be the cause of 34-year-old Emily's fall.
I've got twins.
Okay, first pregnancy and twins. How much bleeding do you think you've had?
It was pretty heavy.
It was heavy, yeah. Did you see her go unconscious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She fell over the top of the toilet to the wall.
Over the top of the toilet into the wall?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Emily's husband, Nick, is looking quite shell-shocked and he's very concerned. And that's quite understandable given the situation. We'll sit you up, we'll go quite slow. How long do you think we were unconscious for?
5 seconds, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe a bit more.
Yeah, cool. And then were we quite flat out or like any twitching, any movements or shaking or shivering like that? No.
No, just disorientation.
Did you feel dizzy before you kind of went down or was it really quite sudden?
No, I felt dizzy.
Okay.
I called out to Nick that I don't feel good.
Yeah.
I thought that's another sign of possibly having a miscarriage.
Yeah.
And then suddenly I could hear Nick saying, like, you're okay, I'm here, and I was breathing really heavy.
Right. I think Emily's trying to put on a brave face. I know that deep down she would be really concerned about the welfare of her babies.
What's on checking?
Just checking your heart.
Yeah.
Let's stay nice and still. Whilst we are concerned that Emily is pregnant and with that comes extra risks, we still need to consider all the basics. She could have collapsed for a cardiac or respiratory reason or a neurological reason. Looks pretty good so far. Yeah, your heart's ticking along. All of her observations are coming back okay. However, she's had the bleeding for the entire day, so we definitely need to get her to hospital to check that the twins are actually okay.
Sometimes some bleeding in pregnancy is normal, and sometimes it can mean something more sinister. That's not to worry, you okay?
I just hope it goes to term.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell that she's so worried about her twins. The whole journey to the hospital, she's going to be thinking, are my twins still alive?
Alrighty.
Nia and Carlos have just arrived to help an 8-year-old boy with Down syndrome who has food stuck in his throat.
Hello.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. Hello there. Hello, Maddie. What's your name?
Blake.
Hello. Hello, Blake. What's happened with Blake today? Shall we have a seat, buddy? Let's do it. Come over here, mate.
So driving up to the job, we were thinking worst case scenario, we were trying to get there nice and quick, lights and sirens, no mucking about. We walk inside and we see young Blake giggling and laughing and smiling at us.
Cool PJs.
So we were definitely quite relieved.
Mum Lynn called for help when Blake began choking.
Yeah, just having some jelly and fruit.
Yep. Is that what he normally has, or?
Yeah, because he's on the soft food diet
Soft food.
at the moment.
Mum.
Because he's got Down syndrome, his muscle tone's really weak.
Yep.
Kids with Down syndrome like Blake are at higher risk of swallowing problems due to weaker muscle tone in their esophagus.
Yeah, this is what it was like last time. It was what, 3.5 hours of him until we actually brought the piece of meat.
Right.
For Blake and his mother Lynn, every mealtime is fraught with danger.
I just happened to turn around and I could see him gagging.
It's a bit sore, yeah, hurting.
His face was like, oh my God, Mum, help me. It's scary when your child's choking and you can't do anything about it.
Blake still feels the food lodged in his throat and is at risk of it falling into his lungs.
You saw there? Yeah. Can I shine a little torch? Is that okay? Where? You point to me. Right there. Okay. Say, look up for me, look up for me. Good boy. Even though his airway's clear and he's breathing okay, Blake's still indicating there's something stuck in his throat. So it's quite a big risk, especially with his airway anatomy.
Good boy.
Because if there is something still stuck in his throat, that can be pushed down into his lungs, causing pneumonia, which can be life-threatening.
I know. What I need you to do is just keep it... Listen to me. Listen, just keep it nice and still there, all right?
Chris and Sam are still trying their best to help Olivia. The 18-year-old was on a night out when she fell over and badly injured her wrist.
Olivia, leave it down.
Her best mate, Jazzy, is by her side.
Jazzy and Olivia are almost like yin and yang. On my right, I've got Olivia, who's hysterical and all over the place.
I know. So
It feels like a
no.
And behind her, we've got Jazzy, who's just munching away on some chips like this is just an everyday sort of event for her.
Can you feel me touching your finger?
It's a bit numb. Do you have
Okay.
any laughing gas?
That is the laughing gas.
Once I've finally got our patient to calm down, I've been able to properly assess her wrist. I can't feel any deformities or breaks, but I don't have X-ray vision. So we need to get her to hospital and get a scan and see what the extent of the injury is.
We're going to take you to the hospital. They can do an X-ray and see what's happened, okay? Yeah.
I took this and it's still...
So, it only... No.
It's too many.
Sam, let's just get going. Olivia.
Go.
That's the way. And just keep going with those nice, slow breaths, all right?
You probably
can
deal
leave.
with a lot of drunk people.
Are you drunk?
I've had 2 drinks.
Oh, yeah, see, I knew it. How was the bar tonight?
Dead.
Dead. I know.
I think it's definitely fractured. I jammed it on a metal pole.
What are you doing on a metal pole?
Stripping.
Very good, okay. I'm just going to quickly check your blood pressure, okay?
Chris is ever the professional and he is dealing with this really well. I'll give it to him.
Rest your arms.
But I can't put it up. That's just
I know.
stressing me out.
You just relax it. Whoa.
Wait, can I just see
No.
I'm
here, babe. I'm here. Just look at him. I'm here.
I love you.
I love you too.
Yes.
All right.
Thinking with me, baby.
Now.
Are you single?
I'm not, sorry. You're way too young for me anyway.
How old are you?
I'm 35. I know. How old are you?
18.
18. Oh. I don't even remember what it's like to be 18.
This is definitely one of the more interesting jobs that I've done. And even though it's been difficult to manage, I am going to miss Olivia.
All right, we're at the hospital. Out we come.
Olivia will now be taken to emergency for an X-ray to find out how badly she has damaged her arm.
Please just take an X-ray.
Yeah.
So Chris is going to get you booked in and then they'll get you in for X-rays and things.
Sound good?
Yeah.
Even if Olivia hasn't broken her wrist, I can guarantee she'll be waking up with a sore head tomorrow.
Seemed to like you quite a bit, Chris.
She definitely had the vodka goggles on. Were we like that?
You were.
Yeah, okay.
I was the Jazzy to your Liv.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
At any stage when he was choking, did he go blue or anything like that? No, nothing. Did he go red in the face or anything like that?
Gagged.
Okay. Would recommend a trip up to the kids just to have, a thorough check over.
8-year-old Blake has a piece of food lodged in his throat and is at risk of it falling into his airway, which could be fatal.
We don't want to risk it, so...
If he can't bring it up by himself, he will need it surgically removed.
You ready? Yeah.
A daunting prospect for single mother Lynn.
You want to wait for Mum?
Yeah. I found out I was pregnant with Blake when I was 44, so he was a miracle child. I was going in for test for menopause, but the doctor come back and goes, sorry, love, you're pregnant. And I go, oh, wow, that's fantastic.
All the way up, buddy.
There he
That's
goes.
it. We'll rug you up like
Alrighty,
a little
ready?
burrito.
And when I was pregnant, I had doctors asking me, am I ready to accept a child? that may have special needs. I turned around and said, God would not give me a child if I could not handle them. And I was so grateful that I didn't cave in to have a termination with my child.
Mum's going to come with us. Is that okay? Yeah. Ready? Up we go.
I wouldn't change him for the world. He's my life. And I'm so glad I'm his mum.
Mum!
Alrighty.
Is it in there still, is it?
Blake is getting more agitated by the food stuck in his throat.
In there?
Yeah.
And paramedic Nee knows that at any moment it could dislodge and fall into his airway.
Aspiration pneumonia is when the food, besides going down to your esophagus into your stomach, it goes down through the windpipe and into your lungs. If someone has something blocking their airway, it takes less than a minute for it to basically cause them to go unconscious and stop breathing.
But like all 8-year-olds, little Blake is so excited by the ambulance trip that he quickly forgets about his sore throat.
I'll tell everyone I go to work to have peace and quiet.
I can see that she cares for him a lot, and I can see Blake really loves Lynn, so it's really special to see.
Sounds like you guys are having too much fun back there.
You're driving, are you?
Maybe he can show Carlos a couple of driving skills. You got to do those sounds as well, Carlos, when you drive.
Dropping Blake off to hospital, I'm really hoping that the doctors can help him and dislodge the food from his throat safely.
Here we are.
Before it becomes a life-threatening situation.
We're going to go with Mum. Ready? Ready? Let's go.
I mean, sometimes like some bleeding, some spotting, that can be quite normal through pregnancies and things like that. Hopefully it's kind of one of those things. You'll just need to have all the investigations and everything done. Hopefully everything will be okay.
Emily is 11 weeks pregnant with twins. After significant bleeding, Ben and Georgia are concerned she's having a miscarriage.
So we're in the back of the ambulance and it's still a very stressful situation. The tension is there and neither Emily or Nick are saying very much at all. I need to do something just to break that tension. How long have you been married?
Yeah.
Oh, congrats, guys. How's it been going? Obviously pretty well.
Yeah.
How did the proposal go?
Yeah, the first proposal didn't go too well.
Oh, no.
I didn't have the ring with me.
Oh, what? No. How did that happen?
He asked me when I was still in my jammies. My hair was a mess.
Yeah.
And then he just bends down and just asks, like, we're just talking about it, and he's like, oh, you know me. It's like, okay, but I want to, like...
I want a proper proposal. Yes, that's gold. I think you could put me in a room with anyone, anywhere, and I just get verbal diarrhea. I can't stop talking, but that's why I love the job.
From then on, the pressure was on. Yeah?
Yeah.
Out to a nice little lookout. And,
oh, cute.
Yeah, asked properly with the ring this time.
Nice, probably.
Went down a bit better.
And that was good enough to say yes to. Let's go.
Just being able to chat can help the patient so much. At the end of the day, a patient who's panicking isn't a patient that's going to get better.
Just pulling into hospital now, guys.
Awesome.
All right, just watch your step here, Nick. How you feeling? Worried?
Yeah.
Understandable. Yeah.
So we're arriving at the hospital, and I know that as soon as they go through those doors, they're going to be looking for the answer of whether those babies are okay or not. Fingers crossed, everything's going to be okay.
So is that a choking episode?
2 months ago, Nee and Carlos took Blake to hospital when a choking incident put him at risk of pneumonia.
You saw there. Can I shine a little torch? Is that okay?
Surgeons were about to operate to remove the food from his throat.
In there?
But thankfully, Blake managed to cough up the obstruction moments before the procedure.
Let's go.
Let's go read a book. Wanna go here and read a book? Which one? Pick a book.
The book.
good reading.
Today, little Blake is back home with his mum.
Nia and Carlos were wonderful. They made me feel calm and they were all in control. My son was safe. On there. I still worry about him choking. Gonna help, Mum? It's happened before. It could happen again. But I know I can ring 000 and someone will be on my doorstep in 2-3 minutes. So that's a big relief for me.
It's likely Blake will need surgery in the future to widen his esophagus to help prevent further choking events.
Is that nice? Yeah.
I'm 11 weeks pregnant.
Yeah.
And I just started bleeding today.
It's been 6 weeks since Emily, who is pregnant with twins, collapsed in the bathroom after experiencing a heavy bleed.
I just hope it goes to term. Yeah.
Despite paramedics Ben and Georgia holding grave fears for her unborn babies, further tests showed that both bubs were doing just fine. The cause of her collapse was likely due to low blood pressure. Now, Emily and her husband Nick are eagerly awaiting the arrival of their twins, a boy and a girl, and putting the final touches on their nursery. 6 weeks ago, 43-year-old Jess's life was in the balance when she went into anaphylactic shock after accidentally ingesting shellfish hidden in her takeaway.
Are you finding that's helping at all? No?
Paramedic Dan and his team worked tirelessly to keep Jess alive long enough to get her to hospital. Jess spent the night in emergency until her allergic reaction subsided. Miraculously, she was able to return home the next day and credits paramedic Dan for saving her life.
He was amazing. He's incredible. They all were.
Try as best you can to take a deeper breath.
The way he talked to me reassured me that all is something that you don't forget.
What we're gonna do, you got me?
The throat closing over was pretty quick, and I did think I was going to die. By the time the ambulance got here, I thought I was gone.
For partner Gary, the trauma of that night has stayed with him.
It was bad. It was really bad, and I thought she was gone. If it wasn't for the paramedics, with the professionalism and the training, I don't think, she wouldn't have made it. There's no way.
Thanks, honey. Sunflowers for you, Mum.
Oh, nice.
And as far as her syncope, which causes her to faint at any given moment, Gary has come up with an ingenious way to keep his wife safe.
All right, hon, I'm off to work. Here you go. At any time, she can just drop or fall. Put it on. She has to wear her rugby helmet. That way, if something happens, it protect her head. Have a nice day. Because, the fear is I'll be at work working, and I come home and she's on the ground, falling back and hitting her head and split it open, and she's there bleeding.
With the loving support of her partner, Jess hopes there will be no more emergency trips to the hospital.
I just fell on my ring.
Party girl Olivia had a tumble on the dance floor that left her with an injured arm. Chris and Sam had a challenging trip to hospital.
My wrist is still really painful. I think you didn't put the drug in
Olivia,
there.
just little
Are you
breaths.
sure it works?
Yeah, it's doing
work
its
with
thing.
Alcohol?
It works very well with alcohol.
An X-ray revealed she did break her wrist, which has meant a temporary slowdown in Olivia's big nights out.
Green whistle, please.
Yeah.
Which gives her plenty of time to focus on her followers.
Hey, Tim.